Hello everybody, it's Fun Gaming here. As you can see, we're going to be working on some kitty combat, so that's pretty exciting. Just opening up things like chat really quick. Moment. There we go. Okay. I think we're all good. And then I'm going to also really quickly set up the window capture for this. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now if I open up a thing of this, you'll be able to see it. Awesome. Okay. And then let me pull chat up. Alright, sweet. Okay, I'm just going to extend this outward a little so I can read those. Okay, and then I'm also going to move this over here so I can see if there's any Wi-Fi problems and so on. Alright, and I think we're all good. Alright, sweet. Okay, yeah, so I've done a pretty fair bit of stuff to the game since, you know, the most recent update, which since this is coming to Steam now, it's not getting updated on itch anymore. It's going to be, you know, all released as one giant, like, mega update whenever it comes out on Steam. But yeah, so this stream we're probably going to be doing some redesigning. Like, we're going to be redesigning the whole main menu here, since I'm planning on adding, like, way more like settings and options and things like that, since this game is, you know, scale wise it's getting a lot bigger than just silly game I made in, like, you know, 2 days. So we're gonna go here, and or actually no, that's all the wrong thing. So we're gonna do that. Now we're gonna do this. There we go. Okay. Honestly, basically just about all of this stuff is going here. Except for that. Okay, so that's all good. Alright, I think that is everything, I believe. Alright, so basically what I'm doing right now is I am making separate groups of certain items so that I can hide and show them as, like, a whole, as like a kind of, you know, a mass per se. So we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna also go over here really quick. We're gonna make a thing here. We're gonna call this checkboxes. We're gonna put all these in here, and we're gonna make a thing that basically just says, like, if these are hidden, you can't interact with them. So we're gonna do checkboxes visible if they are not visible. We'll do checkboxes. Deactivate interactions. And so we'll say no, and then we will say if they are visible, it will enable them again, so then you can interact with it. Okay, so we've got that. We're gonna take these buttons right here. We're gonna move them around since we're gonna add way more settings. Let's also grab the text to go with these. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna put these somewhere over here. Give or take. Yeah, right there should be fine. And so then we're gonna add way more different like options and stuff like that. We're also gonna really quickly go over here. We're gonna find the quit button. We're gonna duplicate that. Call it settings. There we go. And we're gonna move this over here. We're gonna take quit. We're gonna move that down. We're gonna put the settings thing right here and the quit button right there. So then you'll be able to click settings and it'll, you know, actually pull up the settings. So we're also gonna go back to here. We're gonna add this in here so then it'll disappear whenever you click that. Okay. So that's all good. And then we're also gonna go here and we're gonna adjust these so that you don't accidentally click the play button or things like that while you are in the settings. So I'm just gonna switch the song really quick. And something a little more quiet, chill background music, per se. Let's see. Yeah, that's how that works. Okay. Let's see, let me make sure this is showing up properly. Okay, sweet. Also, as I'm sure you guys have noticed, we have the little stream of it. So I'm also gonna move my dude a little more into the corner here. There we go. But yeah, we do have the stream avatars on. So if any of you type in chat, you can spawn in as like a silly little guy. So that's pretty epic. Okay. Also gonna check Discord really quick. So then I can also post a little. There we go. Okay. Alright, we are back to it. So we have these here. We're gonna really quickly also make sure air but with cats. Kinda, yeah. A little bit. Let's see here. We gotta find the quit button. There it is right there. So we're gonna do quit visibility off. Or actually a little bit. We want to make sure that it is visible. We're gonna also put this right here. Okay. And then we'll go to this as well. And we'll make sure that these are visible to click them as well. And we're basically just going down the line doing this with all of these things to make sure that you don't, you know, accidentally click something that is not visible to you. Because that would be kind of frustrating and or annoying. Holy moly, did not mean to paste that whole thing in there. Copy that, paste that right there. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing with this. And I think that is all of the buttons for now, if I'm correct. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, sweet. Okay. And so now we are gonna go here, create a scene variable, and we're gonna call this show, and I'm gonna change the text, and so we'll have it be different text depending on different things. So we're gonna go in here really quick and we're gonna say if the variable show is equal to main, then we're gonna create another copy of that, but we're gonna change it from main to settings. And so we'll say if it is equal to main, we will have the settings group right here. We'll hide that. And for this one, it'll hide this. Yes, I do have the little Spirit City lo-fi thing in the background, so we got some nice little ambient sounds. And just, you know, some nice chill stuff, just to be silly. I'm just throwing you guys around a little bit. And drop some bombs on you guys. There we go. How lovely. Burps really loud, so loud. That's terrifying. That is quite scary. Alright. Okay. Also, if at any point, if my like voice or anything is too quiet, just let me know and I'll turn up my volume for that. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go into here, and we're gonna switch this from hide to show, and then we're gonna swap this the other way around for this one. Okay. So since this is main by default, if I were to click play here, all these things on the right should be disappearing. Oh, never mind, I don't even think I put them in the group. Whoopsies, yep. We're gonna put this in here. Do another characters could stay on top of the chat. This changes everything. I could make them behind the chat, but I put them in front just so that people can see the little goobers running around. Let's see here. Okay, we gotta put this, and that's everything for now. At the current moment. Okay, so now if I go into here, the settings in the top right should disappear. Perfect. And if I click around with them, nothing happens. Perfect. Okay. So we got that. That's very nice. And then we're also gonna, I forgot to mention, or not mention, I forgot to add settings to this. So now whenever I hover over it, it'll look like a button. So I'm gonna switch the song again because this is like, again, it's like, I want something quiet, tiny, chill background thing. There we go, that's better. Alright. Alright, that's also where the music is coming from, by the way, if you were wondering. Okay. Here, let me also spawn in some stars for you guys. So then you can... Running, come grab these. Just notice the platforms. Yep, you can in fact jump on the platforms. It's very nice. Quite mystical. Here, I'm gonna drag my little dude up here. What's that? Gotta put him right here. There we go. I have been condemned to being pinned at the top of the screen. Tragedy. He is forever punished. We crucified Retro for your sins. Alright. So we're going to create another one of these. And we're going to have this. Okay, and we're going to go into here. We're going to do okay. And this setting I'm very excited for. I feel like it's gonna be really funny. Because the whole point of it is if you want your game to be hellish and chaotic or not, basically. Because let me, you know, I'll keep it on by default, but they can turn it off if they want. But basically this whole setting, the whole point of it is, what's it called? Also, wait, are these in the UI layer? I don't think so. I think are they in the UI layer? Oh, they are. Well, I'll be okay. Let me put that on there then. Okay, much better. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do for this thing here is if you have it on, then, you know, stats will have a, like, you know, actual cap. So, like, for example, you can't have enough speed to sprint outside the map. But if you have it off, you can just infinitely scale your stats, like, to points where the game will likely break. So it's basically up to you if you want to be able to break the game or not. So then, you know, people can tailor if their experience is they want to destroy their game or if they want to just, like, play a more balanced experience per se. So it's pretty epic. Let's see this. What do you guys think, chat? Epic! That is very fire. After all these years, the crucifixion roles have been reversed. Been there up to 8, I believe. That's awesome, actually. That's amazing. getting close to that 10 review mark for Area 59. Very, very epic. That's very exciting. Okay, so we have this, and then we're gonna really quickly go over here, create a global variable for this. Okay. And then we'll say that. And then we're gonna go over here and basically just do the same thing as this. Gonna paste this in here. Okay. There we go. And then if we head into the main code here, ignore all those things. Actually, no, we are gonna go into here really quick. We're gonna go down here, and we're gonna say variable value, balance stats. If that is true, then we're gonna go into all of the players things here. Let's see, change variable. Okay. Okay, and so we can probably leave the max health and like those things, because those, technically you could get as much health as you want and it's not going to really break anything, technically. I mean, like, obviously you can get really overpowered, but that's not too big of a deal, really. And then we're also going to go right here, and we're going to do players, variable, speed is, we'll say greater than or equal to, I'm trying to think of what's a speed that's like not unfathomably busted, or like it'll get you through the walls. I'm gonna say maybe like, well, I was gonna say 800, but that still probably gets you through the walls just fine. We'll say 700 for now. We'll try that, see how that goes. Okay. The other thing too, there's the speed multiplier as well. Can I do like, is that possible to like check between both variables in this? That would be very epic if I could do that, but I don't think I can. Yeah, no, I figured. Dang, that's unfortunate. Okay. So in that case, we can actually probably just change the oh, the speed stat doesn't actually show that though. I could create a whole new variable for that, but I really don't have to do that. You know, actually what we could do, that's what we could do. We could do the player's maximum speed here. Okay. So we can say greater than or equal to 700. Then we will set that to 700, and then we will set the speed multiplier to 1. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now your speed can't go over the max if you have that. Let's see, what other things would be a little broken? We could do the fire rate. That could be, so if we do fire rate, set that to 0 and set that to 1. And then we can do, to make sure that it doesn't, you know, go below 0. Okay, that's good. Gonna change the music again really quick. Okay, let's try that. I'm gonna bomb retro again, as one does. Dang, he barely even went anywhere. Launch him away. Magical. Alright, let's see here. I've summoned a random person. I didn't even know I could do that. There we go. He has been vanquished. Deleted for all of eternity. What did Retro ever do to me? He existed. Oh, he's gone. Rip Retro. He was a good lad. Truly a tragedy. F and chat for Retro. I'm gonna spawn some little stars for you. And then you can gamble. Forgot that was a thing. It's like, is it slots? Is that what it is? Is that what the? I think that's what the code is. Let me see. It was slots. I remembered how to gamble. Oh, he's gambling behind my avatar though. Dang, you guys can't see. All right, you know what? Let me move them in front. There we go. Then you guys can run past me, all mystically. There we go. Now you guys can like jump at me and attack me like I'm some sort of boss fight. It's funny. Bro, that's actually so real. He did, oh my gosh, excuse me. He did in fact do that. That is true factual information. Let's see. We could take the scale and also do that. We'll say like 5, maybe. Would be like the max per se. So we'll say players, variable scale is greater than or equal to 5. We'll set that. And then we'll do the same thing, but the other way around. So we'll say, actually, that's already a thing. Never mind, I already forgot I have the other one. So that you can't go below 0.1. Because, you know, if you go below 0.1 for your scale, you basically just don't exist. So, you know. Okay, so we have that. Change the scale of player. Yep. All right. I think that should be pretty good. All right, so we have that setting. Let's also really quickly add that over here. Okay. And then let's also make it to where if you click settings, everything else disappears. Except for, you know, the settings. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna say settings. Settings is visible. And then we're gonna do that, and then change the variable show set to settings. Okay, so now in theory, I should be able to click. Well, why is that above everything? That should not be like that. 1 sec. Settings, I'm gonna set that Z order to 5. We're gonna set these Z orders to 5 as well. There we go. So we can click settings, all of that disappears, and now the settings appear, and we can interact with them. So that's perfect. And then we need to add a button as well that'll appear down here that's like, you know, return to main menu kind of thing. So we'll just say return. Okay. And we'll just put that right over the quit button. Set that to 5. UI, go here. return. I like your little flowers while you're sitting, CJ. That is quite mystical. There we go. There's some very nice flowers. Okay, so we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna go here. We're gonna do this. And we'll set this back to main. So now, in theory, I should be able to click here. And then I can click this and it'll return back. And then we're also gonna make return in here so that it actually highlights properly, because it did not do that. So now we open this, we have all these, click settings, you now have a return button here, and there's all these different things here. So you can click return, it brings you back. You can, select the different things here. Very epic. So now I just need to add a bunch more settings. Awesome. Technology x nature, somehow a fascinating combo. For real though. That does always go so hard. On God. That makes me think of this is quite one hell of a throwback. Back in the days where Overwatch wasn't complete dog shit. Bastion, when he first came out, he had this trailer that was like him all worn down in like a forest and like all overgrown and shit. That shit went so hard, on God. That was such a cool visual. It's magical. And then we're just gonna also ignore the part where he kind of had like robot PTSD. We're just gonna forget about that. And starts like gunning down the forest. We're just gonna forget about that part, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, and then we're also gonna get rid of... Did I already get rid of it? I think I did. Okay, I did. Okay. Very cool. I'm just making sure I had that properly. So we can get rid of this. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Whoopsie. Okay, we're actually gonna leave it on that later. Okay, so that's good. And so yeah, so now I just need to add more settings. I just gotta think of what settings to add. Actually, let me pull up Millinote really quick, because I swear I had some stuff written down on there of like things that I wanted to add for settings. Let's see. Oh, this is like one of my favorite songs in the this little music playing thing. This song goes hard. It's fire. Okay, so we have that. Oh yeah, there's the difficulty settings. That is true. I'm trying to think if the like difficulty setting should be in here, or if it should be like, you know, down here on this or something. Because the only thing though is like settings won't save, you know, it's like the same thing as Area 59 where like the save file is based on the achievements basically, since that doesn't trip people's antivirus and I don't want to have to deal with that. So if they set like the difficulty, you know, trying to think. I mean, I could put it in the settings and then just have it on normal difficulty by default, and so whenever they open the game, if they want to change it from normal to either easy or hard, then they can. That might be a little annoying though if you like consistently like playing on hard mode, for example. you know? So then you'd have to open settings and then switch it every time. I mean, like, I feel like that's not too inconvenient, but for some people it might be. Okay, you know, we'll put it in the settings for now and just see how that goes. And then, you know, so be it. Okay. And then let's also make a volume slider really quick while we're at it. Pretty important to have those. Okay. Put this up here. We're also gonna duplicate this again. Okay, there we go. Those sliders remind me of Geometry Dash. That is wonderful. Yeah, I just like what's it called? This like because GDevelop has, you know, obviously like different like presets for some things, like the sliders and the buttons. And like I could make like custom ones like I did for Area 59 and stuff, but like with a lot of my horror games, I'm sure you've noticed, like with, you know, the Caesar Static series and stuff like that, I use this preset where it's like this white and black, like kind of square one. But I don't know, I really like how that looks. Like it's like a very smooth looking design, and also just like the black and white color scheme just looks really nice to me, you know? I don't know, I really like how that preset looks for some reason. It makes my brain happy. Looks nice. What was I about to do here? Okay, there's that. Okay, we're cool. And then we're gonna go here, and we're gonna do is it? Oh, there it is. It's global game volume. That's what it was. I was trying to remember what it was called. Set to volume value. There we go. Perfect. Okay. That's good. And then let's also put these on the correct layer and set that. Oh my gosh, that's not what I was looking for. Could I go here? Set the 0 to 5. There we go. Much better. It's like an example of how can some, or, oh my gosh, words, holy shit, I can't read. It's like an example of how can, oh, it is just weird grammar. How can make something better if it's already perfection? That's true though, that's true. It's like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. That is very true. Very, very true. Why does this offset by a tiny bit? There we go. That was bizarre. Me when I can't English properly. Oh my gosh, blueberries on Dead by Daylight. No way. That's so epic. What was I doing again? My goodness, I get so sidetracked sometimes. Volume. Perfect. So now if I go into here, boom, settings, then we can adjust the volume. Okay, and then we're gonna have to fix that too, because as you saw there, you can still adjust the volume while it's, what's it called? Forgot what the word is. While it's hidden, that's what I meant to say. Alright. So then we're gonna make it where you can't interact with it while it's hidden. So if it's visible, yes. If it's not visible, no. Okay, perfect. Perfect. There we go. So now if I go into here, I won't be able to adjust the volume while it's not on screen. So if I go here, see how, you know, the volume's right here. But if I return, if I click in that same area, it doesn't actually affect it. That's good. I just didn't want people to accidentally go to switch their map and then, like, you know, drop their volume to 0 and be like, my game's audio cut out. Because, you know, that'd be kind of unfortunate. Honestly, I'm starting to look at this now, though, and, like, I think I'm giving myself a lot more space than I need for all these settings. Because this is kind of, like, the main settings. Other than the difficulty. But the difficulty, I think I'm going to put, like, right here. Like, I'm going to make that a lot bigger looking. I might even make the difficulty, like 3 big buttons, you know? And let's actually do that. Let me open a sprite, our beloved. Let me make sure that that appears on screen so that you guys can see it. We go a sprite. Do that. Hooray, a sprite. So let me make sure this is like the proper window size. Okay, there we go. Lovely. Okay, let me just adjust this. Perfect. Alright. So we're gonna go, let's do 32 by 16. Since everything in this game is roughly 16 by 16 for the most part, with a couple slight altercations. But in other words, though, everything here is divisible by 16, give or take. So we're gonna, let's make some difficulty bars here. I think I might actually make 4 difficulties, because I think I wrote that down in here. Yeah, we're gonna have kitten, which is like the easiest, kitty, which is pretty normal, stray, which is gonna be hard, and then feral, which is gonna be like hardcore, like shit's gonna be unfairly difficult for those kind of players who, you know, want to be in anguishing pain for all of eternity. Okay, so we're gonna make like a neat little border like that. And we're gonna go around the edges of this with spray paint tool, our beloved. Those who know. Actually, fuck, I mean to do this first. There we go. Those who know of the mystical wonders of the spray paint tool. I'm sure those who've been watching for a bit know my obsession with the spray paint tool when it comes to pixel art and texturing things. Beautiful. Look at this. Like that's a nice looking little background border thing here. Looking at styling. Holy shit, this music is loud. One sec. I'm gonna switch to a different one. That was a good song, but holy fuck, that was loud. My goodness. Okay. And so we're gonna go here. And we're gonna make a nice little thingamabobber like this. Because that looks kind of nice. Perfect. And so yeah, so I think we're gonna do this. And then we're gonna, you know, increase the size, like I said, to the right one. And then we're gonna have the text for it in-game. So that'll be like, you know, an in-game thing that we can just adjust. So we're gonna export this. This will be the one for kitten, aka, you know, easy mode. Do that. Difficulty. Okay, and then we're gonna use the wonders of Sprite. We're gonna change the hue. Not like that. We're gonna flatten this. There we go. And we're gonna change the hue of this to be more yellow. Kind of like that. So let's do. Okay, so we have yellow right about there. So this will be for kitty difficulty, which is the normal. Go here, do that. Save, export. Then we're gonna go back into the adjustments and we're gonna find a red version. So we're gonna do like this. We're gonna export this. This will be the. This is a wonderful cheat code. For real, when I figured out that Sprite has like a hue, saturation, brightness, and like all that kind of stuff changer, holy shit, bro. That makes so many things so much easier. It's wonderful. Okay, so I was gonna call this stray difficulty. And then we're gonna have the question is, what do we make feral difficulty? You know, I might actually swap it. I might make stray orange like this, and then we'll make feral be red. So we'll do this, and then we'll adjust that accordingly. So we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna quickly rename this to feral difficulty, and then we're gonna change this to stray difficulty. There we go. We are cooking. Okay, so we're gonna close Sprite now. Thank you, Sprite. You did your part. Greatly appreciated. We're gonna go into here, and we're gonna call this difficulty kitten, since that's the first one. We're gonna drop this in here. Bam. Bring it into here. And then I think what I'm gonna do is place them like, I might actually reorganize this a little. I might take all these and put them like over here. Because then you'll click settings, these will all appear here, and then we'll have the difficulty right here, like in the center of the screen. That seems like that would be nice. Hey, good to see you, Pigeon. Yeah, we're currently setting up the difficulties here. I think I might have made this actually a little bit smaller than I thought I originally wanted. But that's okay, that's fine. We can work with that. Alright, so we have that, and then we have kitty difficulty. So we're gonna toss that one in here. It's just like Avatar's trying to disguise itself. Let me see. It's trying to hide. It's funny. Okay, so we'll put this one in here. Set these both on the UI layer as well. Set that to 5. And then we will duplicate this one. And this will be the stray difficulty. If it'll load. Alright, there we go. Stray difficulty. Actually, I'm going to move this up 1. And then we're going to duplicate that. And then we have feral difficulty. I'm going to toss this in here. Can delete that. And boom, there we go. So now I have a little tower of difficulties. Do I have time to play? Yeah, you can probably play like 1 or 2 matches, yeah. I'm probably just going to finish adding in this difficulty thing, and then we should be all good. Okay. And so actually, I'm going to go into these really quick. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. No. Spreading misinformation. All right. We do this. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to set up these. Okay. And then we're going to really quickly go here. Let me find like this. There we go. Kitty difficulty. Actually, that'll be the kitten one, not kitty. Okay, I'll set this to 25. Oh, that is on the wrong layer. Okay, we're gonna bring this over here. We can actually probably increase that. Let's try 30. Okay, we're gonna set this UI, set it to 6. And we're just gonna center this. Or actually, I think we can just do this. And then we're gonna click these two. And then boom, centered. Roughly. That looks a tiny bit higher than it should be. So let me try to make the text a little bigger. See if that, yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so with that. Kitty difficulty. that. Set this to 6. Not 76. Holy shit, that's way too high. Put this in the corner. Extend that out to 40. Actually, let's see if that. Yeah, that should fit for all of them. I am gonna bring this down, I think, a little bit. Not that. Cause that just, I don't know, that looks a little more centered, like that. Maybe that's just me. There we go. So we're just doing down into the right 1 pixel. Okay. Stray difficulty. Oh, I almost did the fatal mistake of putting it on the wrong layer again. Okay, so we're gonna go down 1 pixel to the right 1 pixel. Yeah, that looks a lot more centered doing it that way. When do we get to add more things into this game? I mean, you can if you'd like. That's nice. And then we have feral difficulty. We're gonna switch this to UI, set this to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna lock these in place. Okay. Alright. Love you too, Pigeon. Okay, actually we're gonna unlock these, and I might actually push them together here. I might actually do that. Okay. There we go. I mean, they don't exactly mean the same thing. Kitten's like a baby cat, and kitty can be used to describe like a full-grown cat as well. Let's see. Is this centered for both? Okay, I think now it's centered. There we go. Alright, and then these are all in settings. Not did. There we go. Might not just been expanded. That's funny. I mean, at least that's how I use it. Like, if I see, like, a tiny baby cat, I can call it a kitty. But also, if I see, like, a full-grown, like, giant or even an elderly cat, I still call him kitty sometimes. You know? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I always figure kitty as, like, only used for baby cat. Or, not kitty. Kitten is only used for baby cats. And then kitty can be used for just, like, really any kind of cat. But at least that's my personal take on it, at least. Because I could just do the difficulty as kitten and then cat and then stray and then feral, but like I don't know. I like keeping the like K's, if that makes sense. But you know, that's just me. All right, so let's see really quick how this looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we're gonna add a little texting above it that says like difficulty. And then we'll have a little way where you can like click on each one and it'll change it in a way to show you which one is currently equipped. That sounds good. All right, so then we're gonna go here and duplicate this. feel like kitten. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, as like I feel like kitten is exclusively for like, yeah, like just baby cats, or like, you know, very 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 small ones. And then what's it called? Yeah, yeah. See, you guys get it. We're chilling. Exactly. Yeah. You guys see what I'm cooking here. Holy shit, that scared me. I clicked the save button and it just fucking froze for a second. I was like, oh my god, it's over. I was like, I'm gonna lose every bit of progress I've made on stream so far. If that happened, I would have actually cried. Cause like I was dreading doing the whole like main menu reset, since, you know, oh fuck, I gotta fix that really quick. Since, you know, redoing an entire main menu is kind of, you know, a little tedious, but doing it on stream, I felt would be a good way to do it and like make it a lot more chill and relaxing, because, you know, then I'm not just sitting here bored out of my mind rearranging shit on the main menu. Okay, so we have this, and then I say we maybe make a little cat face icon or something, and then use that as like to show what you have equipped, you know? So like we could have it like go here on the side for whichever one you have. Yeah, guys, we're cooking. We're cooking so hard right now. Alright. So we're gonna call this just cat face. And then, actually, I might just import Plum's face. Let's see. Cat arena. Where is Plum? There she is. Go here. Okay, we're gonna remove this. Remove this. Now we're gonna go 64 by 64. There we go, cat icon. Perfect. Now we have a nice little cat icon to showcase our lovely cat, to see what difficulty you have equipped. Alright. And so now we're just gonna set this up depending on like which difficulty you have equipped. It'll, you know, adjust it accordingly. So we're gonna do that. Okay, and so then we'll go into here. And we'll say if variable difficulty, why is there two of those? 1 second. Why are there two? There should not be two. Okay, there we go. So we'll say if difficulty is equal to, we'll say, we'll do that. Okay, so this will be like Omega Easy mode. And then we'll have normal. Then we'll have stray, and then we'll have feral. And so for context, if you're wondering why, oh, I just opened snipping tool on accident. There you go. If you were wondering why for the difficulties instead of it being like the names and why instead it's these random ass numbers, is because the difficulty is going to affect a multiplier for the enemies for each difficulty. So for example, 1, which is the default, you know, normal mode, aka KD, that multiplier will multiply all of their stats by the difficulty number. So if it's 1, that means they all just have base stats. If you go to kitten, for example, it's 0.5, which means it'll multiply their stats by 0.5, meaning it'll basically half all of their stats. So they have half health, do half damage, and so on. For stray, it'll be 1.5. So they do their normal stats plus another half of their stats on top of that. And then feral is basically double stats, everything. So double health, double damage, all that. So that's how I plan on doing the difficulty setup, is like that. So it's basically like direct scaling with difficulty. So, you know, easiest is half, normal is just normal, hard is like normal and a half, and then hardcore is just double. So, you know, that's the plan, as you guys see here. So we're gonna go cat face, position Y, set 2, and we're gonna do all of these. And so we're gonna have, if it's on kitty difficulty, the Y will be set to this, or kitten, I mean. I can't English. And we're gonna move it down to right there. And if it's on kitty difficulty, it'll go right here. Scroll down again. There we go. Never forget the January incident during Erich's time of existence. Bro, I don't know if I have dementia or something, but what happened in January? I don't remember. I be tweaking. Did I release an update during that time that was like really buggy or something? That sounds like something I would do. There we go. Okay, so now if I go here, that's 1 by default. Perfect. And then we will go over here. Oh, that is when that happened. Oh, yeah. Oh, and that makes a lot more sense given the context of what just almost happened. That's, yeah, you're so right about that. I forgot that was when that happened. I'm terrible at remembering, like, time periods for things. Like, I'll know something that happened, but I won't remember exactly when. I have, like, a general range of, like, from here to here, but I never have that shit accurate ever. That's funny. Okay, so we'll go variable, difficulty, set to 0.5. And then we'll go here. Bro, this song is banger. What the fuck? I'm like vibing right now. Or not hard, it's stray. Okay. Bro, this background music is like vibing way harder than it should be right now. There's like downright illegal vibes. To sequel game, wait. To the sequel to the night game you had. What the episode happened? Where are they? Oh yeah. Oh my god, that shit sucked. That sucked mega hard. That was big sad. The Biggie Sadderton. Alright, let's see if this worked really quick. So, don't click on these, nothing happens. Go here. Perfect, you can now switch your difficulty. Beautiful! You'll love to see it. And you can go try. Awesome, these settings are looking fire! What the fuck? Bro, I'm cooking. Hi, Ranger. What's up? Also, for those who don't know, this is my cat, Ranger. He's such a sweet boy. I love him so much. He's a sweet little lad. Okay, sweet. So we have difficulty set up, because we're cool like that. So now I just think, I kind of want to add something over here, because like, we have something on the left side of the screen, something in the middle of the screen, and now I need something on the right side, I feel. I mean, I technically don't, but I feel like that would be nice to have that kind of symmetry. Either that, or I could move this more to the left to make it like, all, like, lined up against the wall here. So like, I could like move these over here. Like right there. Let's see how that looks. Because I mean, like, that does look like organized over here, but like there's still so much empty space here. I feel like there's something I could like fill here. But the question is what? Because like, I mean, I technically could do like, we'll go to difficulties, bring exclusive enemies. Yes, I will very likely make it where higher difficulties will add some special, like certain types of enemies. Like for example, on like the max difficulty, I might maybe add in some like extra bosses that are like very over the top difficult, like some Dark Souls ass shit, probably. Like maybe some big ass cat with a sword or some shit who tries to like swing at you. Obviously doing the art for that sounds like a huge pain in the ass, so I guess we'll see, but I definitely do plan on adding some certain enemy types that'll only appear on certain difficulties. And then vice versa as well. Like if you're playing Kitten, it might remove some of them. Like for example, the Killer Fish, or the Killer Pidge in the second map. I might make those not appear in the Kitten difficulty. Since even if you half their stats, they're still going to do 50 damage to you. So let's, you know. What does a cheat like menu in FNAF 4? I could do that actually. We could have like a little thing to fill this dead space with like basically just developer cheats if somebody feels like completely breaking their shit. That is very, very plausible. I could make it where it's like you have cheats but it disables achievements. So like you can do cheats but it won't get you any achievements if you don't already have them. I could do that actually, that's not a bad idea. Then people can like really just push shit to the limits for sillies. That could be funny. Actually, one sec. In the current meantime, actually, let me check how long I've been streaming to. Streaming for an hour. Oh yeah, that's true. I did tell Pigeon I was gonna, you know, end the stream after I finish with this difficulty thing. That is true. Okay, so we have that set up. I think I am gonna really quickly go over to the enemies here though, and I'm gonna do like enemies scene greater than 0 once. I don't know if this is gonna work properly. I guess we'll see. But if it does, that'll be super nice if it's actually just this easy. So we could do enemies, max health, multiplied by difficulty number. And so in theory, if this actually works as easy as I hope it does, basically every time there's an enemy above 0, so like, you know, 0 is there's no enemies, and then, you know, anytime above. So basically anytime an enemy spawns, it should, in theory, multiply their health, you know, so like according to the difficulty. So basically just tweak their health to the difficulty. Or it's just gonna make it where every time an enemy spawns, every single enemy that's on the scene currently has that happen. So we're gonna hope that's not what happens. But, you know, if it does, well then, fucking, well shit, we're shit out of luck here, you know. I'm trying to debate if the speed should be accounted for by the difficulty. Because that would make enemies on the easiest difficulty move unfathomably slow. But also, then on high difficulties, it would make them move really fast. And that might be, like, actually impossible. So I might just have difficulty scale to health and damage, rather than every stat they have. Because, like, that would be bad. That would be so bad if it amplified their speed. Because, like, gosh, oh god. Imagine the speed rats with ×2 speed. Yikes. Okay, here. Okay, so we're going to try kitten difficulty, just to, like, test this. Let me actually close the background sounds so that we can hear the game. Bro, it's almost, like, weird having the ambient sounds disappear like that. Alright, so we're going to play as Plum. We got this. So I guess we'll see if their stats. So they normally have 5 to start with. Okay, okay. Okay, they died in 3 shots. That means it's working. The stats are in fact half. And if I take damage, it should do half a heart instead of a full. Oh, actually I have the health to scale though, so that makes sense. Okay. I mean, it's working so far. Okay, so that seems to work just fine. Let's try with a different holy shit words. Different difficulty. Also, I'm gonna check if something else worked here too. Oh yeah. One sec, wait. I have to. Okay, you know what? We're gonna use a cheat character here. So this is gonna be a those who know moment. And you guys are gonna be able to access this character if you remember this. So don't forget this, guys. Because if you forget this, you'll never see this character ever again. What am I doing? I'm supposed to be in the main menu here. Whoopsies. Alright, you guys are going to see a special secret cheat character that I added for the funnies literally yesterday. It'd be funny if you made a hard boss for kitten mode but forgot about stat scaling so it becomes unreasonably hard on Pharaoh mode. That's a good point, actually. That's funny. I feel like Pharaoh mode is going to be like so unnecessarily difficult that it's like one of those challenge things where it's like intentionally meant to make you want to blow your brains out, you know? One sec, shit, what was I doing? I think I have to put this here. Let me see if this works. Okay, there we go. There it is. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, it's because you need the achievement for it, though. Fuck, I forgot that everything's set up to be like Steam now, so it doesn't work. It's fine. Once this game finally gets put on Steam, then that'll work properly. Unfortunate. Okay, so we're doing this. Actually, fuck, I forgot to change the difficulty. God damn it. I'm getting too sidetracked. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Settings. Feral. Return. Play. And in theory, if an enemy touches me, it should do 2 hearts of damage. And also take, like, 10 hits to kill. 8, 9, 10. Perfect! And if I take damage, it does too. Wow. Guys, it worked. Yeah, it worked, and it's not like healing them every time an enemy spawns. Holy shit, guys! That's so W. That's so absolutely W. When is the game dropping on Steam? I'm actually have it planned. I can't say the exact date because technically that goes against the like Steam terms of service or some shit like that. For like the Steamworks thing, because that's considered in quotes confidential. What's it called? But also, so I'm gonna move this like up one. There we go. But yeah, the day where I'm gonna release this on Steam is probably going to be sometime throughout the middle of next month. Since like I said, you know, I want to add way more stuff for this because like this game originally was made in about 2 days just as like a shitpost for funnies, and then obviously it took off and people like love it to death. So if I'm releasing this on Steam, I want it to actually be like higher quality than some random silly shit I made in 2 days. So I'm basically just planning on like adding a shit ton of stuff, upgrading the fuck out of it, fixing a lot of optimization. I actually already did that as well. Like you know how whenever you would get an aura item, like here actually I'll just go in an example as Glom because he starts with an aura. You know how before every time you would go into a crowd with these, it would lag like a motherfucker. Well now it is smooth as butter, like 0 lag whatsoever. Like we'll play a tiny bit here just to get like a bunch of enemies in a row, but like it's like crazy smooth, like uncannily smooth. And same thing goes for piercing shot as well. Piercing shot would also make it lag sometimes. But yeah, no, it is like smooth as butter. It's fucking insane. I optimized the shit out of that. I'm just doing a little dancey dance here. Gotta get to level 3 at least so then more enemies start spawning. And then once I get to level 5, then we'll be able to see better. We'll go more speed. Why not? Start zooming around a bit. I'm still so happy too with how the song turned out for this. Like, bro, this shit was such a banger. I was so proud of it. It literally took me so many hours though to make this song because I had like maybe like 4 or 5 halfway completed songs that like just halfway through I was like, this just doesn't feel right. Like it doesn't sound like in quotes kiddie combat, you know? Like it was a little vibing, but like it didn't have the energy that I wanted for this game, and it like didn't feel silly enough as well. And like then I just out of nowhere, after like working for hours and hours trying to make a song that sounded not like shit, cooked like a motherfucker with this beat, and it was just fire. But yeah, look at this. I'm just using the aura on like a billion different enemies and not a single, not even like a slight frame drop. It's amazing. Like, look at this. I'm just running through crowds and there's no lag. Isn't that amazing? It's magical. I don't know, but I'm very proud of that. Truly magical. Also, yes, you did jinx me about that, CJ. How dare you? You know what? One sec. Where are you at? You're being lifted up, up and away. You're gonna be crucified. Them's the rules. It had to happen, CJ. I'm sorry. It had to happen. This is what happens to this. You jinx us on stream. No. But yeah, okay, well now that's fixed. That's like actually amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna close this for now. And yeah, I'm gonna end stream for now since gotta go spend some time with Pigeon. Alrighty, there we go. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Yippee!